When I try to help people get better from any condition that they're experiencing, there is one area that most people overlook. And in this video, I want to discuss that with you and give you 6 places where you can look for this common enemy we all have. If you're interested, keep watching. Hello, beautiful friends. My name is Monica Paz. I'm a certified nutritionist and a functional nutrition lifestyle practitioner. I'm also the founder of Nourish Functional Nutrition, where I teach you how to get to the root causes of your symptoms and how to use food as medicine. In this channel, I give you all of the tools that I have at my disposal to help you go from confused and frustrated about your health to empowered and excited to take your health to the next level. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and remember to tap on the bell so that you can get notified when I release a new video. Many years ago, a friend of mine came to me with some issues that had to do with her gut. And she had been sick for a long time, but the one thing that she really wanted me to emphasize was her gut, because she wasn't able to eat and she was having a lot of bloating. And sometimes she would skip meals because she felt so bad. And so one of the areas, we always start out with food, bringing in real food and trying to manage digestion. But there's one area that most of us overlook, and that area is chemicals. Chemicals in our environment are everywhere, and some of us are better than others at detoxifying. So in this video, I want to discuss how the body can be detoxified and 6 chemicals that you can start looking for in your environment right now. So if you stay till the end, I will give you a place where you can download some information that will be useful to you right now. So let's get started. My friend came to me because she was feeling terrible. She had been a teacher and she knew that there was something in her classroom that was making her sick, but she didn't know what it was. It all started when she went back to school to teach because she had been home with her children. And although she wasn't 100% when she went back to work, when she started that fall, her health took a turn for the worse, and she started getting allergies, sinus infections that were treated with antibiotics repeatedly. And then that sinus infection became debilitating. She was on antibiotics over and over again for many years. And that developed into asthma and many other conditions, to the point that she was debilitated. She had to retire because she was feeling so sick. After she retired, though, she started getting better. And we started working together. So I want to talk to you about what we discovered, what are some of the areas that we focused on, and how you too can get better. When we start working together, we usually concentrate all our effort on the gut because that's where everything begins. So in all of my other videos, you will see me talking about the anti-inflammatory diet, digestive enzymes, and probiotics and things that we do to heal the gut. But we also go back and we start thinking about what happened in your body and what triggered this condition that you're coming here to solve. As we look back into your history, we start considering the way that you were born and whether you had exposure to good probiotics, meaning were you breastfed, were you a C-section baby or a vaginally birthed baby? Because at that point, that's when you get your first inoculation of probiotics. So as time goes on, and depending on what you're exposed to, your body starts reacting. So if you think about your body as being a bucket, and that bucket is full of toxins and things that we're exposed to in the air, in the environment, things we inhale, we eat, we drink, we get exposed to on our skin. All of this has to go through the liver, and the liver acts as a big filter that gets rid of toxins. So we swim in a sea of toxins. It's everywhere, in the fuel that you put in your car, the stress that you feel in your body when you are doing something that you don't want to do, or just a toxic relationship, or toxins in the things that you apply to your skin, you eat, you drink, or you put into your environment, like the air. One of those toxins is mold. And mold can be present in any building, in any place, and not everyone gets sick from mold. People sometimes can detoxify. Again, going back to that analogy of the bucket may not be full for other people the way that it is for you, because you have had to contend with possibly not being breastfed, not having had a vaginal delivery, or possibly because you started taking antibiotics really early on and your microbiome was wiped. And so let's just start thinking about the environment and what are the things that we are exposed to. So why do we have to look at toxins and consider toxins when that is so far removed from us? The reason is because a lot of you come to me because you want to lose weight, and toxins are usually stored in the fat in the body. Your body will get exposed to a toxin and it doesn't know what to do with it. It tries to filter it through the liver, but when the liver is busy or overtaxed, it just takes that toxin and it stores it as fat into your tissue. Let's take, for example, amalgams. Amalgams have mercury in them. So when you remove the amalgam, there is an exposure because, as the dentist is removing the amalgam, this mercury comes up in the air and you inhale it. That amalgam gets stored in the body, and if your liver is unable to detoxify, it just stays with you for a long time. That could cause things like headaches or possibly joint pain or inability to lose weight, to just say the least, but definitely fatigue. Other places that you could get heavy metals like mercury would be in fish, because fish are consuming all of the leftovers, all of the toxins that our different industries dump into the ocean, and all of that pollution that is in the ocean is being consumed by the smaller fish, which get eaten by the larger fish. And those larger fish that live for many years accumulate a lot more mercury than the smaller fish. So that's why we recommend that you eat smaller fish. Looking at heavy metals like mercury, we're looking at people who have played with mercury when they were little, and that was me. Like if my mom had a thermometer that broke, that mercury just was so tempting to play with because it looked like glass, like liquid glass, liquid silver, and that was so easy to just play with and not think anything of it. So those of us who did that have our burden of mercury, but some people are able to detoxify a lot easier. So you may have two people in a home that are exposed to the same toxins, and one of them doesn't do well and the other one does. So why is that? Because sometimes we have a genetic predisposition to not be able to detoxify, to not be able to get rid of toxins through our liver or through sweating or breathing or through our intestinal waste or through our urine. And these things accumulate over time, and then there is that bucket that gets full, and now all of a sudden you start experiencing symptoms. What are some of the symptoms? Eczema, skin rashes, breakdown, pain, anxiety, depression, lack of focus, fatigue, brain fog. Any of these things, if you have these unspecified symptoms, I encourage you to start talking to your functional physician to start doing some testing for heavy metal toxicity as well as environmental toxicities. So what are some of the things that you can look for that would be like a low-hanging fruit for you to start looking for in your environment? So things that you can inhale. Do you have some kind of a leak in your wall, behind your walls, under the sink? Do you smell mold in your house? Do you have mold in your bathroom? Do you see black around the windows? Any of that is a burden for your body that the body needs to deal with. That's a great place to start. Also, someone to test your air in your home, especially if you're sick at home, but when you go to work or you go on vacation, you feel better. That's a good sign that possibly there is a leak in your house and there's some mold exposure. Another low-hanging fruit that you can look for to get rid of is things that off gas. In new furniture, for example, new car smell, or anything that would be in the air that would be obvious when you unpack a pair of plastic shoes, for example, and they give off this smell. All that is toxic. New clothing, new furniture, new shower curtains, all of these things are going to have an effect on you. And then you get to the point where you don't feel well when you smell fragrances. Things like air fresheners and detergents, anything that has a fragrance, all of these things are not tolerated by the body when that bucket is full. And that's a good indication that your liver needs to be detoxified and that you need to give your body a break. Other chemicals like insecticides and pesticides, pesticides come in our food, and insecticides, believe it or not, come in our clothing. A number of years ago, our son got really sick and he had to quit his job. He used to work as an assistant stylist, and part of his job was to get the clothing ready for people to wear for photo shoots. And he would steam these clothes and they had a smell to them. Well, not only is there a chemical in the clothing, but they're also sprayed with insecticides in third world countries before they get shipped to the US. And that insecticide gets activated. So when he had a urine test to check for toxicity, his insecticide levels were through the roof. They were super high. And that was making him really sick. That affected his brain, that affected his concentration, his focus, his gut, his sleep, everything. And so that is something that we don't even think about. We go to a department store and the new clothing just smells so wonderful, but we don't realize that this is a burden on our bodies. So I like to give you 6 things to think about getting rid of or exchanging. So keep in mind that you don't have to do this all at once, but these are just suggestions, 6 suggestions that you can start today. So number 1 is your cleaning supplies. Most cleaning products have all kinds of chemicals in them that are harmful to the body. So I would suggest that you consider using essential oils, baking soda, vinegar, lemon juice, hydrogen peroxide. Did you know that hydrogen peroxide is the best way you can remove mold from a shower? Bleach is definitely going to promote the growth. It may help you clean the mold, but then the mold comes back. So try that and let me know in the comments if that is something that has worked for you, or you can come back and let me know after you try it and if it works. And I also want to include detergents. Your detergents have heavy perfumes, and those perfumes have phthalates in them, and those are compounds that are related to plastic, and they are added to fragrances to make the fragrance remain in your clothing, remain on your skin if you're using perfume. And these are endocrine disruptors. An endocrine disruptor is something that disrupts your hormones. It affects your hormones. Anything that affects your hormones is going to affect the way your body works. So that is one place where you can really make a big difference, is by getting rid of perfumes in your environment. And you can go to ewg.org, Environmental Working Group. They give you a whole list of chemicals and things that you can plug in the detergent that you're using. You can ask for suggestions for changing the chemicals in your environment. And it's a great organization that gives us a lot of information. When it comes to clothing, make sure that you wash new clothing and that you choose natural fibers like cotton, linen, silk, wool, cashmere. All of these are natural products that are not going to be as treated as the artificial products. And then another option is to use vintage clothing. Used clothing has been off-gassed and is a lot safer than new clothing. Number 3 is looking at your landscape insecticides and pesticides and the things that you're adding to your lawn, as well as obviously the food that you're eating. Again, ewg.org will give you the clean 15 and the dirty dozen, and that is one way that you can check your produce to make sure that it's not sprayed, and so that you can make better choices. Number 4, products that you put on your skin. Tick and insect repellents or sunscreens, makeup, all of that on EWG you can plug in and start removing and start replacing the products that you're using so that you have safer alternatives. Because after all, your skin is the largest organ in your body, and everything that goes through the skin goes straight into circulation, and the circulation goes through the liver, and there you go. You have an absorption of all of these chemicals, and the longer you get exposed, the worse it is. So now is the time to take our health into our own hands. Number 5 is get rid of bleach. I know during COVID-19, bleach was a big deal and everybody was using bleach to disinfect, but I ask you to please get rid of bleach that contaminates our rivers and our ponds and the water that we drink. You don't need bleach. You can use natural products like vinegar, lemon, just like I said earlier. Alcohol is a good disinfectant that you can use to make your own disinfectant spray for your hands or surfaces around the home. And you can use essential oils also. So some of these essential oils have websites that you can go to and get some formulas and different recipes for cleaning supplies and ways to clean your furniture and ways to clean your bathroom. And one of them that I like is doTERRA and Vibrant Blue. They have really good essential oils, and those guys are really good at giving us alternatives for bringing natural products into our lives. Number 6 is to remember that you can always get your home inspected for mold. If you find that there is mold around your windows or you feel like you're getting sick at home, it's a great idea to call a mold specialist, and they will come to your home and do a thorough inspection. So make sure you do your research on that, because not every mold inspector is thorough, and make sure that you get recommendations. There are a lot of potential harmful chemicals in your home, and we can get easily overwhelmed. But I ask you to just take it one step at a time and know that if you're doing something today for your health, you're doing more than you were doing before, and you will get to the point where this will become second nature as you replace things in your home. So I'm going to prepare a PDF for you that is going to give you some information on some of the chemicals to avoid when you're buying mattresses, when you're buying products for the home, and when you are looking at ingredients. So I hope that that is helpful to you. My membership group is open right now. It's $20 a month forever, or you can cancel anytime, but you can get a discount coupon using membership 15 so that you can get $5 off forever. And I think that you are going to enjoy that, because we're in community and we talk about all these subjects at length. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and tap on the bell so that you can get notified when I release a new video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.